Ladies, welcome firstly. So we've got you here today. So we've got Rhonda Gloury, Tracy Smith and Judy Gloury. It's just in regards to the 150th celebrations. So we thought we'd get some people that have been involved in the club over the years to talk about their time in the club. So that's what brings you girls here today. So we might just start with Rhonda. Obviously, your family, you're a fleck before Gloury. And you've obviously had a long involvement with the club over many years. You want to just take us back to what brought you to the club, or was it a family thing? Or
We just sort of wanted to get into netball and stuff. I think I started in about 67, just as a fill-in with my sister's team. So, yeah, and I just used to go to practice all the time with her and that. And they just, when they were short, I'd get a quarter on the court or whatever. And
yeah, and it started from there.
Yeah, it started from there, and I just sort of kept playing.
Yeah, and you mentioned your sister. Was there any other family members involved in the club during those years?
My brother played footy. Yeah, Charlie. So yeah, played. Yeah, it would have been. I don't think they had a junior side much then. It was pretty much only under 16s or something, or under 15s. Back then, I can't really remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was mum and dad? They would have been good barrackers for the Dunolly club?
Oh, Mum did. Mum used to walk up the netball and watch us play netball, and then she'd come up here and watch my brother play footy, and
yeah,
she didn't have a licence or anything, so she walked.
Yeah.
So we all had to depend on someone to take us elsewhere. Yeah, Dad wouldn't take us anywhere, so.
Yeah. And back in those days when you first started, where was the courts, Rhonda?
Up at the tennis courts, where the tennis courts are. There used to be a court alongside the tennis courts, and there was another one alongside the road. And we played the Maryborough League back then, yeah.
Yep. And did you three girls play together?
Yeah, I think we did
pretty much.
Yeah, I think I probably played 2 or 3 seasons with the girls. Yeah.
Yep. And what position were you mainly, Rhonda?
I was probably goalie back then.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember. Yep.
Yeah, goalie.
You were.
Yeah.
Zippy little shooter.
Yeah.
Yep.
Then as we got older, they put me in wing attacks. I was too short in there, but I just used to fill in for goals if there wasn't anyone else in there. So yeah.
And you had a long career. Can you remember what age when you finally finished up in your netball career?
Well, it was probably 20 years ago.
Yeah.
But I had a break between the kids, and I played golf in between that. So
yeah.
And then when Craig wanted to play footy, so then I started back up netball again.
Yeah. And you mentioned Craig, so your 2 children. They both played netball and football.
Yep.
Yep. Over the years.
Yep.
And Tracy, if we can just touch on your family involvement, how you come about get involved?
My father played with Dunolly. Yeah. So my brother played football with Dunolly. I had an older sister, Kerry, and a younger sister, Tanya. So we all played with Dunolly. I think I started when they actually had the little D graders that we used to play on those same courts in the Maryborough League. So we used to play against Talbot and some of those clubs.
And what were the D graders like? They were under
7 or 8 or something. We were, not that I was ever little. But yeah, we started with those, and then just kept going and took on coaching. I had a lot of years of coaching.
What age did you first start that, Truss?
I think I first started the under 16s when I was in year 10, so I would have been 15 or 16. I coached the reserves and seniors here when we were in the Lexington League. And the first year we went to the Lexington League in 81, I won the best and fairest with A grade. So I probably played most of my years with the seniors once we got going with the Lexington League.
Yeah, if I could just touch on the coaching. So it was obviously a young age when you took on the coaching. What made you, were you asked, or is that just something in you that you wanted to do?
Yeah, it was something I knew I wanted to do. Yeah, it was, I played so much netball and I enjoyed it. And I coached my younger sister, which probably was a challenge for her, and my cousin Mandy, Raven, and their friends Trudy. So it was a bit challenging because fairly close family relations. So it was probably a bit challenging, but it was just natural. And then I think the same year I was coaching in 82 when they won the premiership, I was coaching the reserves and the seniors.
Wow.
Yeah, so.
And with those under 16 girls that you coached the first time, they won the premiership?
In 1982, they won the premiership. It was, I think we'd only got to the grand final by basically 1 or 2 goals for each of the finals before, so each of those had been stressful. But the actual game, it was a draw at the end of the game, and we had to play an extra 5 minutes each end, and they won by a goal. So
It would have been absolutely...
the most stressful, I think it was the most stressful coaching one I've ever done. But yeah, and I've gone on to coach with my sister and I, Kerry, have coached in the Maryborough Bendigo League. We coached Maryborough under 17s. And then I mistakenly said I'd fill in for them and played a game in B grade with them when they were playing. When I was 51, and I finished when I was 56. So
And you did mention off camera that you not only did you play, you won
best and fairest for the B grade for 3 years. Yeah, so
it's a pretty good effort at...
in my 50s, yeah. Not sure about the rest of the team after that, but anyway, I enjoyed it. Yeah. But yeah, we've had a long involvement with Dunolly. I know my brother is still a sponsor out here. He still comes out and watches a lot of games. And my dad, yes, mum and dad still blue and yellow's in the blood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because your family were from close by at...
Goldsborough. Yeah. So we were allowed to play netball because we were allowed to get off the bus from going to school and get off the bus and train here. We weren't allowed to play basketball because mum and dad couldn't come and get us if we played in Maryborough because there was no basketball here. So we were allowed to play netball because we could get off the school bus for training on a Tuesday and Thursday night, and then one of them would come and pick us up. So yeah, so that sort of restricted. Tennis was our other summer sport for that reason. But I started playing basketball when I was 21 when I went to Bendigo. That was the first time I'd played.
And how long since you haven't played basketball?
Probably about 10 years.
Yeah. Had a good career.
And touch wood, no breaks. No breakdown. Had lots of broken ankles, two broken wrists, but no actual knees or hips or anything yet.
Yeah.
Touch wood.
Fantastic. If I could just go sideways a little bit while I remember and talk about your grandfather, Nin Martin.
Yes.
Who was apparently an extremely good footballer, very talented. What was he like? Your memories of Nin?
Grandad Martin lived until he was 99, so we were blessed to have had him that long. Every Saturday morning he'd bring us to Dunolly just to go shopping, and we'd come into the sports sometimes. I obviously don't remember watching him play football, but he was always an extremely nimble man. But his memory was incredible. He actually could tell you anything about anyone, and he could tell you who won the football in what year, who won the best and fairest, and who the teams were playing in the grand final. He just was extraordinary. And even till he passed away, he still knew that. But red and white was in his blood. So he was a Swans. He played a bit with Natty as well.
Right.
So that's hence most of my families follow the Swans. And unfortunately, this little black sheep goes for St Kilda. So, yeah. But yeah, he was, and he always encouraged us to play sport too. We probably had a love of sport from what his involvement was with and what he did too for clubs. Yeah.
And you would have had some great memories coming to the football as well as the netball with your family. Like you said, your dad played and
oh, absolutely.
your brother played. And
I think that was what was fantastic when we joined in 81, because for us, instead of mum having to take us to the netball and us never seeing the football, if we were in Maryborough or somewhere and the football could be anywhere, we could go as a family to the events. So, we could actually watch Greg play and be as a family. And not that he watched us very often, but he did in later life when he gave up football. He'd always come and watch us play. So he follows my children now when they played, because my son's played with Natty Alec. My daughter played out there for a couple of years, but she's moved around with her netball. She played with East Point and down with Queenscliff this year. But Greg still follows them if they play. So.
And you just mentioned again off camera that your daughter's going into her first year of teaching down at Queenscliff.
At Geelong College, she's coaching.
And going into her first year of coaching as well.
Second year of coaching.
That's great.
Yeah. So I think it was a bit of trickery. That one of the ladies who works at the school, she was the netball coach of the team at Geelong College, and she just said, "Oh, perhaps you might like to come out and try out for Queenscliff." Unbeknownst to her, she was also a coach out there. So my daughter rang me and said, "I've signed my player's contract as well as a coaching contract." But she coached at East Point last year and also played there, and 4 of their teams were the underdogs for East Point, and the 4 teams won. So she was a coach, a successful coach there. So she's played in Avoca as well. So she's played with my niece Maddie Egan out there. So they've won 3 or 4 premierships with netball out there. So she's been in red, white and blue with Avoca, red, white and blue with East Point, and Queenscliff happens to be red, white and blue.
It's for the colour.
So it must be the colour for her.
And Jude, we can touch on you. So the Lacey name's very famous in Dunolly. Tell us about your involvement as a young girl.
Well, I think I was about 7 probably. I think it's about D grade back then. And as Rhonda said, we played at the same place up near the tennis sheds up there. And Mum sort of had cart me one way and Dad carted the boys, the other way. And when we actually joined up together, it was really good because we could all just go to the same place.
Yep. And leading up to that, like the 1981 when we did go into the Lexington League, was that a thing that you guys were aware of that was happening?
No, there was talk about it.
Yeah.
Nothing sort of was happening about it. Then all of a sudden, that's going to happen. And it was really exciting for us.
And it would have been fantastic as a club, like you say, to do something.
Together.
Yes,
Just
all
family.
together.
It's a family.
Made
It was
the
good.
events, social events,
It
everything.
was a whole day out. Like you pack your lunch and off you go.
Yeah.
It was good.
And can you remember the involvement of, with your mum and dad and your brothers playing, finishing your netball, going to watch them and that sort of thing?
Well, we sort of more watch the boys because boys were more interesting and they sort of come and watch the girls. Yeah. And I was with the netball side of it, was just the girls. We didn't ever let that out. Yeah. They sort of, to and fro. We watch a bit of them and sometimes they were playing at the same time, so we sort of missed out when they were juniors. But as they sort of got up in his seniors, we used to watch a bit of them,
And can you girls remember back during your careers with Dunolly, what was the success rate like, or the teams, the competition, how strong?
This, Dad, Lexington label, we got flowed week in, week out.
Because of the competition was so strong?
Yeah. Yep. Yes.
We were all sort of like called scrubbers, because we didn't have a strong competition in the Maribor League, and we were only sort of little, and we come across, and we were only little, and you like Pyramid Hill was it? Yeah, up there, we were down here. We just too strong. But we kept going. Sometimes you got beat by 60 girls.
We just had fun, just made fun for the day instead of...
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was beating. And you look back over the time, so like Tracy said, that we've had some success with the junior girls throughout.
The best part about it I found was we all started at that one age and we stuck together and got older and grew up and got stronger as
a team.
Yeah.
The more you play together.
They together so long that they're pretty lucky because any new ones that come in just sort of slotted in.
Yeah. And dare I say, when success did come, that you'd enjoy it more by being together and going through those hard times.
Because we didn't have a real lot of numbers either. We sort of playing one game and filling in for the next game. You haven't sort of did, but sometimes you might play 3 games in one day.
Yep. If you could take us through the change rooms back in the day, facilities-wise, would have been...
Yes.
Yep. So how did that all work?
Well, you sort of do what you had to do here, then you go up to the, netball courts up there and do your warm-up and all of a sudden you think, I've got to go to loose, and you can come all the way back again and run back again. And it was very limited.
That was the worst part of it, yeah.
And if it was raining, by the time you got from there to the netball courts, your shoes were already wet, your runners were wet through. It was just, it was awful.
It was a long day.
Yeah, it was a long day. Having nothing there, even if someone got injured or anything, it was just you were right there wherever it was. And really for spectators too, it wasn't.
There was no seating much.
No. So, it was a challenge for spectators to want to be there and watch because there was nowhere for them to sit. There was nowhere for them to be out of shelter. So it was probably, it made it more challenging for us to have the supporters and for the encouragement for the girls on the court. So who was watching was probably limited for that reason, because they could sit in their cars and watch the football. So why get out in the rain and watch the netball? It didn't come in 2 cars, so you chose to put your car at the football. So, you know, we missed out probably a lot of people being able to watch us and have that encouragement from the crowd, because there was nowhere for them to sit, nowhere for them to stand. So, yeah.
And we touched on when the under-16s did win that premiership back in 82. What was it like, the atmosphere? Can you remember, like, whereabouts was it? Can you remember that?
I'm trying to think. I know I can picture the court was on the back side of the football oval and right away from the change rooms, because again, we had nowhere to put the girls had nowhere to put their gear or anything. And we were sort of, again, the netball wasn't the game that was watched that day. It was the football, because the netball courts were off to the side. It could have been Landsborough.
Moonabel.
No, it wasn't Moonabel. No, it wasn't Moonabel. No, because I know what their ground's like. It wasn't Moonabel.
No, not Moonland.
I reckon it was Landsborough.
Before they built the new...
It was a fair while, because we didn't probably have the crowd either at the game, because it was a distance from here. If it had been closer, we would have had a lot more people to watch. But they weren't expected to win the first final, let alone the grand final. So, and that was our second year in the Lexington League. So,
And 40-odd years later, it's still a great memory.
oh, I can still remember the end of the game being a draw, and we were sort of, you know, the girls were... that had never happened before. So they had no idea what was going to happen. Did we have to come back the next week? And then all of the officials came and said, you've got a couple of minutes. Do you want to make any changes? And then you've got 5 minutes each end, and you're not allowed to talk to your team in between the swap over. So it was 5 minutes one end. They just literally walked the other end, swapped over. And so we weren't allowed to coach in that 10 minutes from talking to the girls at all. So
Wow.
I think it was the longest 10 minutes I've ever endured. So, and it just made such an excitement for the club, the fact that, you know, second year in, we'd won a premiership. And I'm not sure how many under-16 netballs. I know we probably had in the Maryborough League, because I'd probably had more premierships in that league than I did out here. But it was certainly exciting for the club. It meant that, you know, there was premiership capacity. And so those girls also realised that they were under-16s and probably had a future in the league as well, that they could.
A lot of them probably did go on and sticker at it.
Jude, what positions were you mainly? Did you play in the court?
Goalie, and then I sort of wing attack centre.
Yep.
Well, yeah.
And we've mentioned off air as well, you come runner-up in a league, best and fairest. We said it was...
2, was it? Nothing. 82.
86? No, was it 96? No. It's in the book.
Can you remember what league that was?
Yeah, that was when we played Natty. What was that, the Lexington?
Lexington Plains. What do you...
Whatever it was.
We join up with all their mothers.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ronnie.
Yep.
It's on the same page, Chris, as the, yeah.
82.
And what about you, Trace, with individual honours and position-wise?
Position-wise, I played most of my career as goal defence. In later, when I played with Maryborough, I played goalkeeper. When I probably had my best couple of years, I actually played goal attack with Dunolly. Yeah, so, and I've won some best and fairest with Dunolly. Yeah.
And you won the inaugural
Yeah.
A-grade best and fairest?
Yep.
So Judy Gloury was also runner-up for Reserve League best and fairest in 1996.
I remember Judy and Rhonda being around the centre mid-court. Oh, yeah. And, yeah, being
Midfield.
midfielders.
Yeah, we often used to play goalie together during the young years. So, yeah.
It was so short. It was just work.
Till the taller ones come along, and then they took our places.
All run around.
And then we had some social ones in Maryborough. We played the night games in Maryborough. I remember playing with Helen Burns, Helen Lovell, and Donna Sellers.
Yeah, Donna.
A few of those girls. I remember playing Julie Spencer. I remember playing with a few of them. The night social games we used to play
There you go.
in Maryborough during the week.
And remember how you went?
Oh, we actually, I think we won a couple of
Yeah, we
premierships.
won
didn't
one. I think I remember winning one year with Faye Shoddy and
we? Yeah.
Faye Greco and
So we're talking before. I remember when we played the Lightning Premiership out on the footy oval.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what year or anything, but that was fun
They
though.
just, how did they do the courts bits of string, I think, wasn't it? Or they paint them?
Well, I think they painted them. But,
Painted 'em.
yeah, but I remember Aaron goal rings and that from everyone who had goal rings.
And the whole oval was just taken up with these courts. Yeah.
There's probably about 10 or more courts in there. Yeah.
And they just,
Yeah.
Within the league or outside leagues?
I think we'd organised it for a fundraiser or something.
something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were painted. Yeah. I remember they were painted.
Because there was all these massive courts and there was whistles going off everywhere and you grab the ball. No, that's not me. And you throw it on and, oh my God.
That's amazing. Isn't it? On the football level.
We did pretty well in it too.
I think we did too. So it was only, 5-minute quarters or something? Or 2 5-minute halves or something.
Something like that.
Yeah. Just so we could get through the day.
If I could ask, like social events going back with the netballers, can you remember anything? Tell us anything about that.
Nurnbell pub on the way home from Bavaria.
That was the thing.
Nurnbell pub. I always stop there.
But like when the netball come involved with the football as well, that would have helped with social.
Oh, yeah. Cabarets. But there was always teas after the home games, which meant the whole family could stay at. I remember casserole teas. I remember.
That'd take place here.
Yes.
Nearly every home game out there.
Yeah, nearly every home game. Yeah. So, and that was good because it allowed a lot more conversation and your spectators to be involved and, and you'd
Yeah, the room would be absolutely chock.
yeah, you'd go over the game and there might be presentations for, who best on court for the games and things like that, So it allowed the spectators to be just as involved, without, depending on what they'd watched for the day, but it didn't matter because everyone sort of could talk about some highlights of the game sometimes. I remember the coaches, we sometimes had to recollect some of the highlights of the games, so that we could just say speech. Yeah. So that was really good from that point of view too, because that certainly wasn't something we experienced when we played on the courts down there. There was nothing to come back to.
Go down and went home.
That's right. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I know the boys go on their football trips. Was there any netball trips back in the day?
Yeah, we had
Oh, later on.
I think I was too young. I don't remember.
Later on, yeah.
Might have been a good thing, Trace.
We might have went, when we were younger, we might have went Tim bin bowling or something like that.
Yeah,
We're younger, but
yeah.
it's just a day.
Yeah, we did some social. I remember doing that, and I remember the club actually did something for the under-16 girls. They took us. I think we went to Bendigo and went bowling or to the movies or something. The club shouted them, because they'd won the premiership. So
Yep.
yeah,
There you
I
go.
remember that.
And travel to and from away games, was it a bus thing or just you'd find your own way there?
you sort of following your own.
Own way.
Yeah.
Because different. When the juniors sort of started, or the under-16s, it was a lot earlier to get there. Yeah, so a lot. Yeah.
Like I said, did make a day of it if you had someone, kids and
Yeah.
someone in the adult, it'd be an all dayer.
Which also made it look better. I mean, if you take one bus, you don't look like you've got any supporters. When you've got a whole lot of cars around a footy oval and, they score a goal and the car horn gets tooted, it's a bit more support.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. If you're going to be there early, sometimes you'd sort of hit your road with someone and then go home with your parents when they come later or whatever. So, yeah.
Yeah.
And in later years, through your senior ranks, did you guys have any finals, games, premierships, things like that?
No. We got the finals
We
here.
got to the finals a few years, but
I played, after I finished coaching here, I went to Bendigo to work, and then I would travel home each weekend to play netball. And I did that for probably 3 years until I got a job in Maryborough. And then I played with Saints at the complex in Maryborough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Greg wasn't playing football at the time, I don't think. So it was a bit easier when I just started working there. So, yeah. So I didn't miss my netball. In fact, when I went to Bendigo, I used to play tennis on a Monday night, 9 o'clock until midnight, indoors. I played netball at Eagle Hawk with the girls that I worked with. I played basketball on Wednesday night at Bendigo, and I played netball at Eagle Hawk on a Thursday night over there. And then I'd come back and play on Saturday.
And Trace, do you put that down to the family sporting environment, what you mentioned before about wanting to play sport as a young child?
Oh, I think so, yeah. Dad was always, I know they both played tennis, and Dad used to play a lot of tennis. Mum and Dad played a lot of tennis. And Dad did it up until he had, unfortunately, when I was born, lost the sight in his eye. So us kids were a bit of buggers because we'd play tennis against him, but if you really wanted to win, you hit it to his backhand because he couldn't see. So he gave that up and took up bowls, which he became very successful at, and so is my brother Greg and Mum playing bowls. They played with Dunolly for a long time until they moved into Maryborough. So I think sport's certainly been something that, well and truly, my children have all played netball. Our eldest daughter, Shayton, she actually, the first year she played netball with Natty and played basketball and played tennis with Natty, she won a premiership in the whole 3 sports. And I said, that doesn't happen very often, Shayden. I said, and most people can play a lot of sport and never win a premiership, let alone 3 in 1 year in 3 different sports. But she's been a very good. We follow Vixens, the netball. We go to a lot of the Vixens games. So we've had our membership with Vixens since they were Phoenix originally when they were playing. So we followed them. We go to the football quite a lot, the AFL. We go to the Australian Open. We watch the tennis. So we probably, and we follow Storm in the NRL. So we probably, it's
Sport's a great thing.
Sport's a great thing, and it's been a great thing for us and our family and where we've gone and what we've looked at. Yeah.
And Judy, if I could just go sideways before letting you go to talk about your father, if I could. Can you remember watching your dad play as a girl?
Not really, because I was born children 62, which was sort of the years that he was, not a real lot of remembrance.
Yeah. And as a young girl, did you realise how good your dad was?
Oh, well, it was always talked about. We always, were brought up, and Joe Lacey did this and Joe Lacey did that. And,
Yeah. But I dare say it probably didn't come from your dad. He's a modest male.
He is very. Yeah, but we always played sport. We were all taught kick left and right. Well, Lynn and I, we could both kick both feet.
He's really?
Yeah, bowl, cricket.
Yeah. And that was probably the thing that we all know, that in the summer we'd be all playing backyard cricket.
Yeah, well, that's right.
We played tennis together.
Yeah. Many a broken window in the house from cricket ball over the desk. Watts boys, they used to come down. We used to always play cricket out on the road. And
Yep. And where were you guys living at that stage?
we're down in Maud Street. Yeah.
In Maud.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Dad was working on the railways there, and we were in the railway house there. So,
Yeah. Near the kindergarten?
yeah. Yeah, but we've always played sport. In the sense I can remember play badminton, tennis, netball, cricket, indoor cricket, ball, volleyball.
And you mentioned golf before. Yeah, and it's just a thing about growing up is in a small town.
Well, that's what, you'd finish one sport and you'd be straight to the next.
Yeah. So I think that was one thing that why we clicked with all of our sport, though, because when we weren't playing netball together, we were playing tennis. So it was just that, it was that easy, the relationships are that easy, and you knew each, a person about each other and what we could do and what we were capable of, and it just made it easier to keep playing together. Yeah. As enjoyable for that reason.
Yeah. And you must look back on it and say, well, that was a pretty good childhood.
Absolutely. Well, absolutely.
It was easy about things then, when we sort of all get together and you start talking about it. And I remember that. Back, and then the kids got involved in it too. And Shelb's still involved with it, as she's playing down at Dunstown now because she's moved away. Shelb, I think she's got a finger in Helton Ash this year coaching or something. But Yeah, she'd still play now, only she snapped her Achilles and she's not going through that again.
Their mum used to drag us along to tennis and that all the time, and so that's why we sort of got into it.
Yeah. It was just what you done.
Oh yeah, you didn't play netball, you played tennis. Boys didn't play footy, they played cricket.
Just going back, if we could, in 1981, can you remember how many teams that played the grades that we had, Dunolly? I know it's pushing. So we had, was it A, B?
It was reserves and seniors,
Okay.
and I think we had under 16s.
Juniors, was it 2 juniors?
2 juniors and 2
It's under 17s and under 15s or something, was it?
Well, under 16s was what we won in 82.
You
So
might
that
be
would have
under
been still the same.
Under 14s or something, maybe.
Because the men's never come into an Loddon Valley League at that point. Because they had to get a minis to get the quota.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, and that's a certain amount of teams.
Yeah. So I think we started with 4 in the Lexington League from memory.
Right.
Yeah.
Then we had to get up to 6 or something, wasn't it? And then
We only A, B, C and that. But when we started in 81, I'm sure it was only reserves and seniors and under 16s, and it might have been under 14s. Maybe because I was coaching under 16s and the reserves and seniors when we started in 81. Yeah,
You had a busy year.
it was. I was doing year 11s.
And Trace, you won the best and fairest ever we've mentioned. Can you remember how the team success went?
I think when we started in the Lexington League as the reserves and seniors, we struggled in that league as
we've
well.
touched on.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah. Not for the lack of trying, and I certainly enjoyed it though. It wasn't. I think the change to come and play for a club and follow the football was what was so much better than just playing at the courts up there and going to Maryborough. We played the same team so often in Maryborough.
Only about 4 or 5 teams.
By that stage,
Play that same team all the time. Then all of a sudden, you got to play all these different
And going to all those different places.
Places, yeah.
so I think we weren't. I don't think in the Lexington League we were disgraced. We had some close games, but I think it took a little while for our reserves and seniors to probably settle more so than our juniors did. Yeah. But it made such a difference to the club. And
Beef too, it was a lot sort of rougher, and we were a bit intimidated by that style.
Physically, yeah.
Yeah, because we were just sort of, very clean netballers, I suppose.
I remember Manu used to give us grief.
Suddenly you get shoved and pushed and bruised and, I don't want to do this.
And I think that was the other thing that was probably, we'd been used to consistency with umpiring because they were the same umpires that did us each week. When we started with the Lexington League, you had whoever was umpiring for theirs as well as ours, but you actually had to get used to the umpiring. And if it was poor on the day, you probably, as Jude said, we probably weren't used to that. And we suffered from that. We probably couldn't give back as much as she got. Yeah. So that was probably a bit more challenging for us until we got a bit tougher.
Tougher, rougher. Right, they're giving it to me. I'm giving it back to you. Just don't get caught.
So I can remember Marion Dewey.
Excuse me, body.
He said, you've got to give it back. You've got to give it back. Want to? I'm going to do that.
I used to use my body more than anything.
Well, I suppose you learn to adapt and
Yeah, and that's what we had to do, I think, and that's what took us probably a little bit longer in the league to settle in, find our way. We were the newbies, so we just had to just find our way a bit. But I think even winning that first grand final in 82 with the under-16s just probably showed the rest of the teams that we probably did have some ability and to look out for us in the future.
That's right.
Yeah.
anything else you'd like to say?
Yeah, I just wonder, should we touch on some of the players that viewing who was playing, You did touch on a little bit, you mentioned Fewers. There's some of the other players at that time who were playing, that started in 1981 in that rest of the league.
We have to go back to Marlene playing back then.
Marlene Edwards.
I didn't play with Marlene.
Marlene coached me in one of the
In junior grades, I reckon her and Bernadette Murphy.
Bernadette Murphy. The
Donna.
Murphy family.
Donna Sellers, Donna Spencer. I remember playing with Donna Spencer and Julie Spencer. Debbie Cook, I remember playing with.
Oh, yeah,
Debbie
Debbie,
Cook.
yeah.
I was at the post office, her family at the time.
Play with Lynn. She would.
I played with Lynn. I played a couple of games with Lynn. Jill Flett was another one I spoke to on Monday. Jill Flett, I remember playing with Jill. Jenny Mottram, Jenny Daly, I played with Jenny quite a few
We
games.
had a lot that come to town and played a season and then left. The thing.
They're all tall ones too that
Yeah.
get going.
You know, like they come with boyfriends with footy and then they'd only play 1 year and they'd go sort of thing. But yeah, we had a lot sort of stuck around. Yeah, sort of right through to. Was it Hutch? She played right up until she was fair age.
Oh, Raylene McHugh. I remember playing with Raylene.
Coon, she was a goer.
I remember playing with Colleen over the Loddon Valley League.
Yeah.
Melissa Reeves, Sarah.
Well, Mandy Raven played. I played with Mandy and my younger sister Tanya. I didn't actually play with my older sister Kerry.
I played with Kerry
Yeah,
a couple
you
of times, I
played
think.
with- I remember watching you play with Kerry, but
Very tall.
yeah, not as tall as what.
I mean, we're under this. Everybody was told.
We'd say no. These girls would say yes.
Yeah. We were all about 5 foot and we had one probably 5.5 foot and she was tall.
Collingwood 6-footer.
It's like the footy. They never seem to have tall footballers. The netball was the same.
When someone tall come along to want to play, yeah.
Got a few sisters are tall.
Who was the first coach? Who was the coach tonight in that way?
I was.
You coached the seniors.
And the reserves and the under 16s. Yeah. Yes.
And while she was in year 11.
Yep. Yep. And then I coached the under 16s in 82 when they won, and I think I was still coaching the seniors in 82. Someone else, I think, did the reserves. Oh, the Burn girls.
Yeah.
Helen and Christine and Gillian, they were all playing with us then. And the Daly girls, well, that was Jenny and Marie and Pauline, I think.
Then I
played.
was playing with Jenny Bryant
Oh, yeah.
and Dot Dutton, Dot Flat.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I
Um,
remember Dot. Playing with
the
Dot.
Roberts girls from Riola,
Karen and Joe.
Karen and Joan. I remember playing one, Susan Heenan.
Don't remember.
I've sort of filled in for B grade 1 year. We won the premiership 1 year. That's about the only one I ever won. I think I was only emergency, but that's all right. Still part of the team.
part of that. Yeah.
That was in our lime green uniforms that year.
Wow.
They were lovely, weren't they? Lime green pinafores.
Lime green.
There's been some changes over here. I've still got my navy skirt with the lime green ribbon around it. Yeah.
I wonder who came up with that one.
I don't
Chorley
know.
make them. Did Chorley end up making those lime green ones?
Girls had to go and make their way. Botched a lot of them though.
I had
They
a
had big box.
plate, plates in the front that you had to try and get the ribbon in.
Yeah, the ribbon was about, they'll be sure it just was.
It's 3 box plates at the pleats on the front. 3 on the back. You just sew the seams up, put a band on.
No,
No.
they were not.
There's probably no,
There is a picture, but not. They're black and white in there. Yeah.
Oh, we went tartan one. They had that blue tartan.
tartan.
one.
Yeah. Probably when I come back that time, after the kids. Yeah.
Well, thanks very much for your time, ladies.
That's all right.
Very much appreciated, and thanks for contributing to the 150th.
And congratulations to the club on the 150th.
Yeah.
It's a magnificent achievement. And it's been a privilege for the netball to have, probably kept it going for some years as well. But to be a part of, that and what it meant for this community.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very well said. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great effort. Thanks, ladies.
Go back to work.